on with you. I'm so cold in my house. My house is so cold. And I know I'm not supposed to be on because I said I was not coming on. But I was going over a couple disturbing content things that I have been seeing, and I just feel like it really haven't been given justice. So what I really wanted to say, I wanted to say the stigma around black women. Um, and it also says like the pros and the cons of black women. And I'm gonna try to touch on three subjects. Hopefully, I can remember it. I don't want to be on here, so I'm not gonna stay on here too long. But from what I was hearing, what's the first bullet point that I can go to? This is the first bullet point. So I seen on somebody's content how I guess a black man was going over something that a Caucasian lady was talking about. Didn't come from a black woman, but it came from a Caucasian lady, and she was saying how men shouldn't date single mothers. Now, you have two different types of single mothers. You have some single mothers who are, I don't know, I don't really like to say it because I can't really speak for others, but I can say for myself that I could say for, I believe, the side of the single mothers that are on my side of the fence. Um, what I can say is for a lot of single black women, not every single black woman is looking for a come up off of a man, um, just a man in general. And only why I say that is because for myself, I have dated a poor man, and I have also dated a man at high standard, high caliber, a man with a great job, a man that had three houses, a man that had a lot of expensive cars, and a lot of different things. But I'm just trying to give you a little stigma about it. And what I can say is, from the poorest to the brokest, I have never been a woman, especially being a black woman, looking to gain anything from a poor man or a black man. I always just been a woman, just being who I am, just being a God fearing woman, a woman that's on her purpose, and a woman that's just trying to take care of business. For a lot of women, well, half women, because I really don't know how others are, but I can say for myself, I'm just not, never have, um, because you have some women who, yes, they do have kids and they are very quick to bring other guys around their kids, and then you have some women who are not like that. It's like, you have to come to a threshold where they first and foremost they know you as a man, and it doesn't necessarily mean whatever the situation may be, but just to know who you are. And I think for me being who I am, I never was a black woman who was so pissed off and so bitter to just go ahead and just put my child's father on child support. You know what I mean? And you have different caliber of women. You have a lot of women who are black women who can be very pressed and some can be very bitter. And yes, they do. And then you have women on my caliber is like, okay, well, what is that? That's not really going to, help me the way that it is. But then you also have different caliber of women dealing with the stature of the man, dealing from how poor he is to how rich he is, to look at that individual as a price tag. And this is where a lot of guys at different statures, meaning different financial status, comes into play with a lot of women who are just, I don't know, maybe they love them or they're in love with them now because of his financial status. It's going to be on the flip side. Well, then you're going to have to pay. And I feel like that's where it comes into the parts of um, a lot of stigma of just women sometimes, But being a single parent or a mother that's, who is that? I don't want to talk to you. I don't even know who you are trying to FaceTime me or message me on Instagram. I'm not talking to nobody on my Instagram. But let me get back here to what I was saying. Um, but yeah, but like for a single parent mother, I really don't think that um, people should really put that stigma over a lot of single parent mothers, because you have a lot of single parent black women who, just because she might be a single parent mother, she can be very successful. She could be very driven, and she can just be um, something other that's being painted. And why I came on here was because the whole stigma of just black women, and the whole stigma of the cons of the black women, meaning the other black women that give us other black women a very harsh picture being painted. It sucks. So on that part, I really don't feel like it's really necessarily a problem for a man to be involved with a woman who have kids. Now, the other bulletproof point is I seen, it's kind of funny, but I kind of seen how a gentleman was basically asking, women, like how many kids, fathers, and stuff like that do they have? And they felt like if a woman has a lot of kids, which I can understand that, and the only why I could say that is because I have a son, you know what I mean? But I feel like, as long as she's, I don't know, as long as she loves my son, and um, she can heal him, or, she's just a good woman, then I necessarily have to be a good bullet to swallow. I'm just being honest. Um, I understand what he meant by that. You know what I mean? I could see if a chick had like maybe like, I think maybe like, well, I don't know, maybe over like like four and over, something like that. Then yeah, like four is like the bottom line. I kind of feel like it, maybe sort of. But I don't necessarily believe that her values and who she is has disintegrated, because 9 out of 10 when us women are dealing with people, I don't know, because I'm different. Like, you know, I love my kids, and since I'm weird, I'm not the same. But I'm blessed because I feel like it. I never was a woman to trap anybody. You know, my kids that I have, I planned them. I wanted them. You know what I mean? It wasn't like um, I was trying to trap somebody. And 9 out of 10, I think maybe they was trying to trap me. But other than that, it's like, through my kids, their bloodline, our bloodline will always will go very strong, and I will always have a piece of him. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Like, I don't know, and I shouldn't really say it like that, but yeah, I just think maybe because a black woman has multiple baby fathers, do it speak a little bit values? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you really don't know her story. You don't really know when she had kids. You don't really know the factor of it. And I think if a woman is a little bit older and she's telling you this, I think that instead of, because she might tell you, oh, I have this, then I think that maybe you should probably get to know her story before you just cast judgment. But like he said, what the fuck? He said, a top tier man doesn't want all of that. And I'm saying to myself, well, what the fuck is a top tier man? I'm just curious, because I done seen, and I've been around a lot of top tier niggas, and a lot of these top tier niggas ain't shit. And I mean, that's dealing with the corporal men that work these corporate office. I'm talking about these blue collar men who are lawyers. I'm talking about these doctors. I'm talking about all of these procedures, motherfuckers. So I'm just trying to say, top tier what? I'm just being honest. Top tier man doesn't want that. Doesn't want a woman who I don't understand, because the whole mission of everything is to actually see an individual. See, I don't know where I'm getting to this, but I'm going to it. I feel like at this moment it's like a situation. Remember that movie with Tyler Perry and the lady who was like the cleanup lady, and he was like very rich. He was like a millionaire, billionaire, and he never thought that he would even like look at her, right? But I feel like it's just a story within that. You can have a top tier man who's been around all of this fancy, pricey tag chicks and all of this other stuff, and then you have somebody who's probably just cleaning the office. It's just something about that individual that he's just never experienced. He has never feel. You never supposed to look past somebody of because of what they have, their stature. You know what I mean? So when he said top tier, man, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about because regardless of where I live at, bitch, I am a top tier. And I done been around some top tier niggas. And I'm just saying, so don't say top tier. Especially when you coming on or whatever and you don't have, I'm just saying, a top tier. Like these dudes be giving top tiers over something like I'm saying a top tier is a CEO. A top tier, and I don't know what the fuck he had, but I'm just saying. A top tier nigga is a CEO. He's a boss. He has millions. He has assets. He has a yacht. He has a jet. His life and shit is very fabulous. So when I be seeing these, I don't know, minute niggas talking about they top tier, dude, nigga, and I'm like, you saying, but you top tier? Yes, I am. But so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying it for a dude because these dudes be putting this top tier shit like, I don't know, like it's the greatest cake that they didn't put in the oven. So, I think just the whole quote of saying what a man is going to accept and what a man is not going to accept is terrible. And for a lot of black men to be putting a lot of black women in the same category as a lot of women, especially for myself, that can never even walk a mile in my shoes, never can survive what I have survived, and the things that I have been through, don't say that. And I always say because at the moment, I always like this. At the moment, because she might not have a degree. At the moment, because she might not be a house owner. At the moment, she might not have her own business. Doesn't necessarily mean that she won't get there. And you have a lot of people who are dampering the light of good women, a woman that can be at a very great caliber. And then what pissed me off is that they was having interviews with women who I feel like as a black woman should have never even been there. And then for me to see how violently, yes, baby. Mom, come and pick up the clothes. Okay, I will. I'm sorry, I knocked it over. I'm gonna come get it in a minute. And just to be so flamboyant, to be calling women bitches and stuff like that, it was very disturbing. But what is a word? A word is something that has power unless you use it. But you know I done got myself in a lot of trouble for a nigga calling me a bitch. So I'm just so happy that I wasn't on that segment, because if he would have called me a bitch, I think I would have flipped over the tables and punched him in his face. I'm just saying. Even though that word doesn't have power, and even if somebody was to call me a bitch, I always tell them my favorite word: make sure you put bad in front of it when you calling me a bitch. But I don't like that stigma that's going around with black women. I don't. Because not every black woman deserves that. Not every black woman deserves to be in that category. Nor do a black woman who, for whatever the reason is, that she might have two baby fathers or whatever the situation may be, her value of just who she is, maybe because of the prior a vision or somebody that gave them. Because I don't care who you are, you could be a black woman, a Chinese woman, or whoever. It's always dealing with a man that's giving you an illusion to a vision of something that he's promising you that he can fulfill, and he know he can never fulfill that. And I think this is where the misconceptions in these kids and shit come, and twilight with people, or just the back of the mind. Even though a man is loving a female or whatever, some people be having in the back of the mind like, yo, I'm just going to trap him. Because you do have women who be like, yo, I'm just going to trap him. It's just something about him, I want to trap him. And not all women are like that. What else was there that I think I wanted to talk about? So it was the single mothers, the myth about dating black women. Um, yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Was it? I think it was something else. I hate every time when I get off, then something that I want to say I can't. It can't be said. Oh, this is the last one. So then they were talking about the whole myth of a man dating a younger woman, right? And if it's the age factor, I feel like if a man, if it's in his 30s and his shorty might be like 25 or something like that, but technically, legally by law, I don't, what is it, like 18 or something like that? So I feel like if an older man is trying to bag somebody that's a little bit younger like that, I look at it as two reasons. Maybe because she's not as active, and you have to be careful because some of these 18-year-old chicks be active than a motherfucker. So it really, honestly, doesn't really make a difference. But as me being an older woman, am I pressed by a younger chick that's younger than me? Absolutely not. I'm not. I don't, because I don't. I have never been that woman that was insecure or worried about a woman in general, and mainly a younger woman that's younger than me, because for who I am and my energy and things that I have accomplished, things that I have done, and things that I'm doing now, my future, my legacy, and where I'm going to be. I don't care about that. I have never been like that. And I always say, like, you know, if you can pull them, then you can have them. And then sometimes I kind of be happy when whatever the situation may be, because then maybe you got my troubles, maybe you got my problems, and now I could just pass them off to you, and then you can deal with whatever I was dealing with. And that's how I look at it. But for if a man wants to date a younger woman, then that's on him. I have never been that type of a woman. I feel like women who be saying, "Oh, well, he's dating this," I just feel that's maybe that's a little bit of insecurities within her as just being a woman, because I feel like me being a woman, I'm not fearful of no woman on this planet, and that's to the richest bitch on the planet. I don't give a fuck about none of that. So for anybody that's coming across, especially a black man or whatever like that, I think that passing up on a real good black woman is nobody but their fault. It's not our fault. It's their fault. So um, I don't care about that, and it's all about the times and shit that we live in, because um, I think every woman, just because she's not black doesn't necessarily mean that she don't have a black woman's mentality, meaning she's just a savage. She just wants what she wants, and that's fucked up for me to use a black woman ideology to describe that. But yeah, that's the only thing that I can say about it. So the pros and the cons of a black woman. The pros is that the black woman will always be the supreme being. She will always be the creator. She will always have the top notch melon within her body. And I feel like the black woman, especially when we get older, especially when our hair transform between being gray and being a beautiful white color. I just think that us as black women in general are the most beautiful, 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 beautiful queens on the planet. Now the cons of it, yes, you do have a lot of black women out there who has given a lot of good black women a stigma that we ain't shit, we are gold diggers, we want what we want, we cheat, we break up homes, um, we have a stigma where we cannot love a man that's not making enough money, that we look at them for what they have instead of who they are. And I think that's the turmoil and the most destructive patterns that I believe have maybe pushed the black man away to start dealing with other different races instead of his own races. Because as you look at it, we do have, especially coming up in this era, a lot of successful black women. Not only you do have a lot of young successful black women who are doing a lot of great things, and they're on the verge of just becoming icons. They're on the verge of just breaking new records and becoming engraved in the history books. So when you are coming through and you are listening to these dumbass podcasters that are saying a lot of messed up things about black women, 9 out of 10, I think that is very disrespectful, especially if you have a black mother and you have a black grandmother. That's very disturbing. And today it's all about material shit. Um, and a lot of men are very boastful because they feel like they're successful, they feel like they have enough money, and they feel like because they have enough money and who they are and they might have a name, that they feel like they can talk down upon whoever, and it's cool. And I don't like the stigma. So this is only why I jumped on, because it really pissed me off. It really, really did, because I'm gonna have a black queen. She's not gonna be a queen until I die. I'm not trying to go nowhere, and just me being her mother, I have to prepare her of the dangers of the mindset of some black men out there. I have to prepare her for just the world that she's going to be living in, and I also have to make sure she's equipped to make sure, first and foremost, that she looks at a man for who he is, not for what he got. To always make sure, most importantly, that he's a God-fearing man, and that most importantly, he respects his mother. Because if he don't respect his mother or women or whatever, he's not going to respect her. And always let my daughter know that she never have to bend over backwards and to ever be a materialistic bitch, because a bitch that's so driven through money, she would break over backwards, she would bend over backwards, and she'll sell out. I'm building a queen over here, and I just hope that this message just hits home. Let me get off. Let me go back to laying underneath the covers because it's so cold in my house. Shit, I think I'm about to go get my fur coat. That's how cold it is in here. So yeah, some of y'all podcasters out there, them black men, y'all ain't shit. But I understand why y'all get the results that y'all getting, because y'all are not getting caliber successful women, or a black woman with common mind, you know what I mean? And especially, you have to look at how they're coming, how they're representing themselves. First and foremost, they coming into your podcast shit looking a hot, hideous mess. It's not like, and y'all should have already knew what type of segment y'all was coming in. Because a real black woman, she coming, y'all trying to talk about black women. Yo, I would have came in there with a sexy ass suit and a nice, beautiful clutch bag with a nice pendant that looked like a government pendant, and all of that would have went down the drain. You know what I mean? But to each his own. You can't be mad about what you get. So this is why I came on and I said this. So I'm gonna go back to just relaxing, watching television and stuff like that. And you guys might be hearing like different like pieces from my podcast. I was creating this really crazy podcast last night, but I didn't want to drop it because I thought it was just a little bit too much. So other than you guys seeing my face, you guys would just start to hear my voice, because I want to build like my presence like on my podcast, even though it is streaming, yay, on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeart, and all that other stuff. I just want to like build my presence up over there. So other than you guys seeing my face, you guys will hear my voice. So it's always a pleasure. I hope that you guys like this. Until next time, be blessed. Okay. Bye bye.